time. Kind of one time.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. Today we have special guest Snoopy and bobblehead Bob Ross. How you doing today, Bob?
Let's make some nice little clouds that just float around and have fun all day.
Well, as you can see, Bob's in his own little world as usual, and that's what I love about him. Beautiful painting, by the way, buddy. But we're here to see the Timex Q Snoopy. So it comes in a nice box here with Timex embossed on the top, and inside the box is yet another box, and this box is nicely done as well. It's a little bit soft on the top, again Timex written here. The only way I can describe it is it's smooth and it feels like it wouldn't tear. So what material they use, maybe some type of heavy stock paper or vinyl, it's beyond me, but it's just nicely done. So we open up the case and here we are. It is the Snoopy Q Timex, beautifully executed, and let's get it zoomed in right there. Look at that. And let's just take a look at the box real quick inside. This is actually based off of the 1970s Q Timex with the 21 jewel movement. Definitely a playful version. Snoopy is the mass marvel. And this watch is a fresh interpretation of the much loved Timex icon, and featuring the unidirectional bezel, luminous dial markings, woven stainless steel bracelet exhibition case back, captures the bold spirit of an era that changed everything. So really nicely done. This is kind of like it's a soft, almost like a canvas like material. Very just nicely done. And underneath here you can actually have a little compartment, so you can actually keep your Timex in there and display it if you wish, or you put it in a closet like most people. So as you can see, it is the Batman version. You've got the black upper and the blue lower. It does have that vintage vibe, done very, very nicely. Look at the case shape. You can see it's got the integrated bracelet. So, and the bracelet is really, really nice. Definitely very reminiscent of the 70s Timex. And you can see the exhibition case back. The rotor's nothing to write home about, but it does have Timex stamped on it. Japan and unadjusted, it says. Not sure why I would say that, but unadjusted Japan. And the movement is definitely nothing to write home about, guys. It's just a plain and simple movement. But you could see that it is from the 2020 Peanuts collection. It's the M79 automatic. And written around the case here, you see automatic movement, 18mm lug. It is water resistant to 50 meters. We'll get back to that in a second. So this is a dive style watch. A watch that has 50mm of water resistance is a watch that I would not take even into the pool to swim with. I'd probably just wash my hands with this and go out in the rain. But this is definitely a drawback of having a watch like this, because it's not a true diver. So the other thing is it doesn't have a screw down crown, nor does it have crown guards, but that is reminiscent of a 70s watch, right? So they are trying to get back to that era and offer you the goods that were offered back then. So this is indeed an aluminum bezel, so you don't have to worry too much about scratching it as opposed to a painted bezel. There is a lot of polish on the case itself, and the case is done very well. So you've got polish on the top, and you've got some brushing here on the slant, more polishing on the case side. As you can see, I have been wearing this watch, so I do apologize for the arm cheese. So let's take a look here. Let me clean that off for you guys so we can get a better look at, there we go. Definitely a better shine, nice and polished up. And I even like how they have the streamline, and even when so you have it split, you can see the split, almost like a line in a car. Done very nicely, and it's still polished on both sides there. Very nice. This bracelet is really done nicely. I do enjoy it. It is a bit of a hair puller at times. It's smooth going this direction, but going this direction is a bit coarse. I have pulled my hairs in this a couple times, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it would be more like one of those flex bracelets that were really hair pullers, so this one's not as bad. You got a really nice just adjust system like you would a shark mesh bracelet. You would simply just stick a tool. I would actually use maybe like the dull side, like this side here, and you just simply stick it in here and you lift up. You definitely want something stronger than this though, like a screwdriver, because otherwise you will bend and break that off. So just get like a flathead screwdriver to adjust that. That will definitely, this will lift up, and then you can adjust it, and then you just press it back down. Super simple. And what you do is you just take the hooks here and you put it on the bar like this, and you simply just snap it down. It is signed by Timex, nicely brushed. Very nice clasp. It's brushed on the side as well. On the dial you have the masked marvel, and it's just done really, really nicely. As you can see, the date is about to change, so let's just take a look to see when the date does change. And we could see that it's starting to turn, and right around 11:57, the date changes, and then the day of the week is going to take over. Right, you got in Spanish at 12:57, and at right around 2:27 in the morning, it'll change the day of the week. So not too bad. It's pretty standard. As you can see, the hour hand it's not the Mercedes symbol, but it is a T for Timex, done very nicely with a little point at the edge there, or at the tip. And you've got the minute hand there, done in a lot more simple fashion with a simple point. You got luminescence on both hands, nothing on the second hand, and all the indices have luminescence as well as the pip. Luminescence on this is not too great. I'll show you guys a time lapse of the luminescence. Doesn't last too long, and it's not very strong even from the beginning. Kind of disappointing. Not so sure that I don't think Timex can get away with saying that they're trying to be true to time, because let me tell you, if you're making a reissue of a watch that's from the 70s or whatever era, you should be using materials that are true to today, that really improve the watch. And I think that using, even if they used a mineral crystal, would have been better in my opinion, but I think some people would definitely disagree with me. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. But you know, I think I would have liked to see at least a screw down crown if you're not going to have crown guards. Again, you would at least have the aesthetics of the watch intact, but protect this crown. That's another thing that is definitely a negative for me. And also the water resistance is just way too low for it being a diver watch. And especially at the price point, I expected this to be definitely more of diver rating. The other thing about it is, even though I'm not going to be diving, to have a higher depth rating shows that the movement or the watch is a little bit more durable. So having the 50 meters tells me that this is not as durable of a watch that a typical diver is. So it does concern me a bit. So I'm not going to lie. It definitely concerns me a bit. Now, the Snoopy is done very, very well. I mean, you can see him very clearly, and he is applied to the dial. He's not painted on. All the indices are also applied. The only thing that's painted on is the Timex and automatic. The date window's done well. It's actually color matched to the dial. It does. Is it misaligned a little bit? It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's acceptable. I mean, you can definitely see it. There's no problems. And I mean, someone with OCD would definitely find fault with this, but I mean, you can see all of Wednesday and all of 17 with no problem. And it is outlined in white, so very legible, and you know, the size of it is done right. So the bezel action is actually very good. Let's take a listen. And virtually no backplay, guys. See, virtually no backplay at all. Very impressive, the bezel indeed. So this is 120 click bezel. So it's a quality bezel. It really is. So it's disappointing that it doesn't have the depth rating for sure, but I'll tell you, the bracelet on this is just really, really nicely done. I really do enjoy this bracelet. And the fact that it is an exhibition case back is cool, but you know, I wish I would have saw a little bit of decoration on it. It would have been a nice touch. So, I mean, despite the fact that the watch comes up short in quite a few categories, it still is a cool watch that I enjoy and have been enjoying for quite a while. As you can see, it fits very nicely on my 7-inch wrist. And we take a look at some measurements of the piece. We are looking at a case size of right out of 40 millimeters, okay? 40 millimeter case size. The thickness of the watch is a pretty hefty 15 millimeter. And our lug to lug is gonna be basically case end to case end, which is 46. As I said, it's got the integrated lugs. It is an 18 millimeter. As you can see here, it is. And as you can see here, we're looking at an 18 millimeter lug width. So you would have a problem switching out a strap because you can see the taper, and it is an 18 millimeter here. So it would look kind of silly, but I mean, we could definitely try it out and see whether or not we could put another strap on here. But I'll definitely do that later on when I get sick of this particular bracelet. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review of the Timex Q Snoopy. It's a cool piece, definitely has its downfalls, but I think if you guys can overlook that, and you're a huge Snoopy fan, and also into the whole vintage look, I think this watch definitely checks off those boxes. So hope you guys enjoyed, and remember one thing, that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.